this video is massive clickbait? It's gotta be. But it didn't work. This is a video called Baldur's Gate 3 is a financial failure. Fans will never see a sequel, which sounds like clickbait considering that it absolutely did make a lot of money. Let's see. Baldur's Gate 3 profit. Baldur's Gate 3 causes a 40% rise in digital revenue for Hasbro. Baldur's Gate sold 5.2 million copies with over 870,000 users simultaneously and a rating of 94.3. Actually, I'm sorry. It sold 22 million copies. 5 million copies was the opening. 22 million copies, and this was a month ago, so I'm sure it's been more since then. It's doing quite well. So let's just do a little quick maths. Let's just go with the 22 million figure that they gave. So if I type, wait, where the fuck did my calculator shut off? That's not ideal. There we go. Okay. So 22. Okay, that's 2,000. Okay, 22,000, 2,200, 2 million, 22 million. Okay, and then we multiply that by how much does Baldur's Gate cost? Baldur's Gate 3. Pretty sure it's like $69, right? Isn't it like $70 or something like that? Or that's what they've been, right? Baldur's Gate 3 game. Baldur's Gate 3. How much did I pay for this? It's $70, right? So times 70 equals, well, it's 60 on PC. Well, okay, let's go cut the middle. Sorry, we got to start over. I'm so sorry. Let's go 22 million times 65, right in the middle. Let's just say half and half. Bam! Do you think $1.4 billion is enough money? I think it's enough money, personally. I think billions of dollars is enough. Not factoring in deluxe edition, yeah, sure. I think 1.4 billion, totally fine. I think that'll do. So let's see what this individual has to say. Cinder, whatever. It doesn't matter. The clickbait worked a little bit. I guess it exceeded his normal views. So there we go.
The Hasbro layoffs that happen without even something big happening, like say
Hasbro layoffs are fucking stupid, by the way. Fuck Hasbro. But I like Baldur's Gate 3 a lot. The studio Larian is great.
Baldur's Gate 3 selling millions of copies of the game and making a buttload of money for Hasbro through Larian Studios for the licensing deal that happened. Well, it seems Baldur's Gate 3
is this music going to be on the whole time? The game's budget was $100 million. Damn.
Is not even on the top 10 of games purchased this year. Well, that's right. We're going to look at the top 10 games that were purchased this year, where the sales numbers are, and maybe point out why the Larian Studio representatives from Wizards of the Coast were let go. Maybe this is one of the reasons why. Just because the game didn't perform to what they wanted. Yeah.
The game absolutely performed well.
They say the game is the game of the year. But before we get into this, please do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, do all the...
LaFlay Art, welcome. I was surprised that James Somerton put out another video, and then he immediately deleted it. Did you know that James Somerton deleted that video? Yeah. Welcome. Glad you're here.
Those fun YouTube things. And tell me, how many copies did Baldur's Gate 3 actually sell this year?
22 million.
Let me know down below in the comments. Anyway, 3 out of the top 10 games this year.
Put it down in the comments. It sounds like clickbait. For 4,000 views?
Are owned by Activision Blizzard. That's something very special, I think, in itself. Through everything Activision Blizzard has gone through this year with the acquisition from Microsoft, the fact that they've had 3 of the top 10 games is
the whole time,
not unheard of by Activision Blizzard. I think Diablo 4 being
who submitted this
up there is one of them. But it's very interesting to see with their mire. But it seems Activision, I guess, has to be doing something right if they're able to market and get the game out there for
Hasbro sucks. Fuck Hasbro.
them to be sold. Activision Blizzard continues its run as one of the most successful game publishers in 2023, thanks to a wide array of influential franchises. Well, Activision Blizzard continued its run.
Bloodlines 2? Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines? It's still not out, yeah. I put that shit on my wish list like fucking 3 years ago or something.
Hana is a research company that releases a monthly chart showing the best-selling games to date in the United States. It should be noted that some platforms like Xbox and Nintendo Switch do not share digital sales numbers with Circanta.
LaFlay Art, my partner is an artist too, doesn't do all that stuff. She does stuff for our campaign and sometimes does commissions. But yeah, I mean, AI art is fucking... to call it art. We just did a segment about Shadowversity saying that he's a real artist because he did an AI art.
This has been
That'll be up on the YouTube though.
A great effect on games like Starfield due to many of the users playing through Game Pass. So while Circanta list isn't completely
So is he trying to do like a shitty quartering thing here?
accurate, it still sheds light on how most games are performing in the United States. I'm going to take a closer look at this.
He's like Ray Romano's fucking less successful cousin or something.
Oh, this is from the
I
Circanta.
hope you will have a fantastic
Top 10
day.
selling video games in September? September? It came out in November, bro. Right? No, it came out after. No, it came out in August. June, July, August. Right? When did it come out? Has it not been that long? No, it wasn't in November. It was before that. It was August. But this is just September. How is this rank last month? Rank what? Hogwarts Legacy? I just don't believe that this is true, man. It sold 22. They got them all in August. Where are the numbers on this?
Website.
Any
the top
data?
10 video game sales.
Initial release
This
date
is
September 6th.
retail and digital.
Did it get pushed
Even though
back? I
at the
can't
bottom
remember.
here it does have a note saying digital sales not included, but they are saying retail and digital at the top here. This was for September 2023.
This is the first
and you
video.
have Starfield being at the top of the list. I believe it came out in September.
How many
Then
copies
Mortal
of
Kombat 1,
Starfield?
EA Sports,
How many
FC 24,
copies
Madden
did
NFL 24,
Starfield sell?
Payday 3, NBA 2K20.
Has Starfield... How many copies of Starfield? 10 million. Half as much as Baldur's Gate. Yeah, this is just incorrect, man. I mean, I could look at any of these.
24, The Crew,
Dude, NBA
Armored
2K.
Core 6, Hogwarts Legacy, which came out, I thought, July? Still on that top 10 list of games sold. And then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. But year to date, retail and digital, top 10 selling video games, Hogwarts Legacy is at the top of the list.
Does he like that? Hogwarts Legacy. 12 milli? 15 milli? Still not as much as BG3.
Hogwarts Legacy, right there at the top of the list. Next is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Steam database says otherwise about this. Wow. Followers, play tracker, Steam Spy. Wait, what? Owner estimations? I don't know what this means. Do they have peak? We'd have to do math, but I don't want to. Damn, crazy. It's obviously a successful game, dude.
Which I believe they sold something like 13 million copies when you add in a little bit more. Okay, I see what this means. The Legend of Zelda version does not show the digital sales. Digital sales for Hogwarts Legacy are up there, right? So Legend of Zelda has that star saying digital sales.
this
were
just
not
guy
part
just-
of that. I
This is
believe
no
with
data
digital
on
sales,
this. It's just a list.
Legend of Zelda
Go.
Tears of the Kingdom does leapfrog Hogwarts.
This entire thing is fueled
just
by
a little,
Hogwarts Cope. It's a bunch of anti-trans motherfuckers mad that BG3 BTFO'd Hogwarts sales and was nominated Game of the Year. So there's no numbers on this?
because I believe they were 18 million as reported by Nintendo. Then you got Madden NFL 24, Diablo 4 being up there, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Starfield, Mortal Kombat 1, Resident Evil 4, and MLB The Show 23.
Wow.
So all of these are up there. It's
Wow.
quite interesting, but we don't see Baldur's Gate. And this is probably why they were let go. They greenlit this project, and this project cost them $100 million to make this game,
And they made $1.4 billion.
but it didn't make them enough money. It didn't come back. This would be why Hasbro let the team go. They didn't make
Wait, how much did PO? Pillars of Eternity was $4 million? That shows.
enough money straight through and through.
That sounds right.
Now, I know all of you are sitting there screaming at me right now going, Baldur's Gate sold 22 million copies.
Yeah.
First off, we go to The Gamer where they have reported, Baldur's Gate was reported that 40% sales rise in digital revenue for Hasbro. So that's on 2022 sales for Wizards of the Coast digital games. If you go to the Hasbro reports,
So he's saying that they pre-ordered it, so it's 2022 money actually? Okay.
back at that time, you have
No, Pillars of Eternity 2 is not an expansion.
Wizards of the Coast and digital gaming segment, which had an operating profit of $538 million. Let's step this up one more. Let's go back up here where their net revenues were for Wizards of the Coast and digital gaming is $1.325 billion.
Yeah, that's the numbers that we just fucking had.
That's a lot of money.
How do you think that this is bad? It's crazy to look at this and be like, that didn't do well.
So Hasbro is notorious for clumping things in together. But when we get into
Clumping what in together? I mean, fuck Hasbro, but those numbers are real. 22 million times 70 is that number. Well, I guess 60. It's in the store stats and Steam database that you should care about. Number 1. Wow.
Magic the Gathering sold $1 billion in 2022. So Hasbro digital gaming sales then would be 325. That's also would be including Dungeons and Dragons. So let's go back to this for a minute. So you have 1.325, 123, 123. So that's $1.325 billion. Magic the Gathering alone sold $1 billion. So subtract $1 billion.
Wait, what? You don't... That's not how that math works. That's not how the math works. You just take the sales numbers for the game, 22 million, and multiply it. You just say... So the Magic the Gathering made $1 billion in 2022. What does that have to do with Baldur's Gate sales numbers just being what they are?
Right? You're left with $325 million.
Yeah, if you do, if you delete the money that Hasbro made on Magic the Gathering from the money they made on Baldur's Gate, instead of adding it, it would in fact subtract it. That's right. If you don't add it, because they made both of these monies, they made Magic the Gathering money and they made Baldur's Gate money. Gary Romano is out here trying to tell me how to do math.
We're just going to say that's all digital sales. We know it's not because it includes Dungeons and Dragons and any small products that Wizards of the Coast has put out in the last little bit, because it's Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, Wizards of the Coast, and digital gaming revenue for the year of 2022. This is what Hasbro has reported.
These are the current top sellers. Baldur's Gate, Steam Deck, Elden Ring, Counter-Strike 2. This is all time? Currently global selling Steam games or 24-hour peak? A million people bought Counter-Strike 2 recently? What the fuck? Or is that a number of people playing? No, it's number of people playing, not peer purchases.
Now, we go to the gamer, and they say...
Yeah, but I don't think... You think a million people just in the last 24 hours started playing Counter-Strike for the first time? That doesn't sound right. There's no social wave happening about Counter-Strike 2? I would be fucking shocked. That had to be player peak, right?
Say that Baldur's Gate 3 rose the digital gaming by 40%.
I guess globally a million people want to play.
So if we rose 300...
They want to play it, Counter-Strike 2?
$125 million
the gaming community
by 40% alone.
Players.
So if we times this by 0.4, that is the sales numbers for Baldur's Gate. So quite simply, we will take the calculator and we will times 325 by 0.4. Right? That gives us $130 million.
$130 million. According to Steam Copy Pasta, Baldur's Gate 3 has an all-time peak of 875,343 players, while Starfield had a peak of only 333,000. What's 875,000 times?
That's what Baldur's
60.
Gate 3 made for Hasbro. They put in $100 million, so Baldur's Gate 3 approximately made $30 million. That's not a good return on investment at all.
That's just not how math works, man. That's just not how it... You had to add, not subtract, my friend.
That is absolutely horrendous. Now, we do need to take in effect here that it was Larian Studios that put it out there and not Hasbro. So the money might be split between the couple companies and a couple things here. And Hasbro, I'm going to ballpark this because of the open gaming license where they were trying to get 25%. Let's just go across the board and do the Google Pay of 30% revenue for the game. 30% licensing fee going to Hasbro.
30%.
Right? That means that at $60 USD a pop, Hasbro is gaining approximately $18 per sale of the game. So simply 60 times 0.3. That's
so we're upset about
$18.
So Baldur's what? So that's just Hasbro. That has nothing to do with the game Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 still makes that whole 70 fucking bucks. because that $70 is split to the people that made the game. Now it's suddenly not as much money, I guess.
Take $130 million and divide by 18, right? That's 7.2 million copies. This is probably pretty accurate because
this is probably pretty accurate.
Is generally what we're seeing across the board for a lot of these things. 7.2 million, that's probably pretty close to what was actually sold of the game.
Dude, that's crazy. 7 million? That's not accurate. This is crazy.
Revenue down. Say Hasbro only gets 10% of the revenue off the game. So that's $6 per game. So
he's just now watch a guy do bad math.
$1 million divided by $6.
You can't do math, bro.
22 million copies of the game. So is that what the price was that they went? So 21 million copies of the game. Did Hasbro only get $6 back per game? But then $100 million got spent on this game. So it's hard to say.
It's not hard to say. 22 million times 60. If it was only Steam purchases, and we're not counting any of the console purchases, 22 million, 60 bucks, 1.35 billion or something like that.
I don't know where the true definition is, but I'm going to guess that's where these numbers are estimated from. Now, a couple things here. If Hasbro only made 10% per game, that's an absolutely horrendous amount of money they left on the table, and one of the reasons why they would have fired everyone involved. That straight up, you sell a game that you know is going to do well, the licensing for it for 10% of the revenue, that's absolutely dreadful. They owned E1 and they bought them for like $7 billion, and then they sold it for half $500 million. Like, they've done some really poor mismanagement with their money, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's where it is. So is that really where the number is? Well, when you go back to the .esports thing,
I don't care about Hasbro. Fuck Hasbro. What does that have to do with Baldur's Gate 3? Dude, this is such strange cope for this.
To their version of it, they've got this.
They laid people off because they're greedy.
Here, and they estimate the game anywhere from 5 million copies of the game was sold with Play Tracker, all the way up to 27 million copies were sold with Steam Spy. And at the time of them writing this, they were using the Steam Spy stats, right? That is on the extreme high end. So I do not believe 27 million copies of the game has sold.
I mean, cut the difference. 22 seemed to be pretty reliable from the sources we looked up.
You could estimate 13 to 14 million copies. I guess Hogwarts is 15 million plus, quite easily. And then
Hogwarts, quite easily 15 million. So this guy is definitely a transphobe, right? He seems to be quite invested in this particular thing. GTA 6 payday. What? 34 views. Wait, I guess this did work. This was his most looked at thing. He put Baldur's Gate 3. You're going to see him do a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 content. I mean, you're going to watch this guy, but nobody watches. Player arrested. He hasn't even played it. Hogwarts Legacy completely snubbed at the Game Awards. He is very into this. He's very into Hogwarts Legacy for some reason. Has he even played it? I'm trying to find if he has Hogwarts stuff. Nobody watches these fucking videos. Holy shit. He puts out a fucking ton of these. Just tons of Unity shit. Trying hard. I made a meme. He made a video about making a meme. I can't see any of the fucking Hogwarts. Maybe we gotta go back further. Let's just go faster. Hogwarts Legacy. How do you put out these many videos and no one ever watches? Holy shit. Wow. And they're all this like fucking whiny. Plastic is banned. Unbanned from Twitter. Wowzers. These thumbnails are so fucking hard to read. Could be part of the problem. These thumbnails are very difficult to read. Wow. All right. I didn't realize this guy had so much fucking content. Holy shit. Dude, these orange ones were better. It's crazy the views were better too. Isn't that interesting? Some of them aren't very good, but you're going to get the oranges definitely better. Reacting to Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering Arena drafting is rigged. He started mad at MTG and card games. It's the same, you know how many people play Magic the Gathering and just start getting mad at stuff? What is it about this game that makes chuds? What is it? Film Traveler responded to me. Let's go. I just started playing and I haven't become a chud yet. I've played 3 or 4 hands. Hands? Is that how you call it? Games? Of Magic the Gathering. I won them all! And I never played again. That was it. That was the whole thing. Some friends were trying to teach me how to play. I played it, and that was it. I don't know. I don't know why that guy's upset about stuff. I didn't even see him have much Hogwarts Legacy content. It just seems to be a random opinion he has. I'm sure if we watch more of it, we would be able to understand his psychopathy and his obsession with Baldur's Gate 3 not being successful. I like Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not part of the... I mean, I'm a fan of it, but I'm not part of the fandom. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really engage with it. Sarah's more of that. But, like, I mean, it's pretty clear the game did well. It's, like, it's hard to deny that.